What's happening, guys? It's Boxing Lowdown here, and this is my post-fight review to David Avanesyan stopping Josh Kelly in 6 rounds at the Wembley SSE Arena. Wow, man, what an unbelievable fight. Have to say, man, I predicted Avanesyan to win this one. I did think that he was going to take it late, but the way how it was going, man, Josh Kelly started off very well, first of all. Very sharp, razor sharp. He looked so focused going in there, but the pressure told. And Avanesyan started to land some body shots. He started to put a lot of pressure on Josh Kelly. And yeah, Josh Kelly also had a serious cut. He had a cut on the back of the head. And he also suffered it was a clash of heads as well, which put a cut above the eye. So yeah, I mean, great fight. Avanesyan, the pressure told in the end. He stopped Josh Kelly in 6 rounds. And all in all, it just appeared to be a little bit too much for him at this stage. Big up everybody in the chat, first of all, man. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget to click the like button, man. Share the video, subscribe. This is just my post-fight review on the channel here. And yeah, I just think it was too much too soon. Big up Sean Ryan, who also agrees. He's put here, crazy, man. It was too much too soon. And he's put, Josh isn't world level. He's definitely not world level yet. I mean, he's got the ability. The ability is there. And I do think he is a talent. But I said in the prediction to this fight, I did say that I thought that this would be a step too far at this stage for him. I think that he might be taking it a bit too soon. And look, man, this is Eddie Hearn's second meal ticket losing in a row. I mean, Josh Warrington lost last week, and now Josh Kelly has lost this week. So not a good week for Matchroom. But yeah, great win for David Avanesyan, man. He was getting outboxed earlier on, but the pressure told. I mean, I'm sure that was part of his game plan. I think he knew that Josh Kelly would start pretty brightly earlier on. But yeah, he started to wear Josh Kelly down with body shots, and you know, he took him out. But listen, hopefully Josh Kelly is all right. I mean, the cuts look pretty bad. The one on the back of the head in particular did look pretty bad as well, man. I have to say. I'm not sure how that actual cut happened. I don't know if it was a clash of heads, or whether it was from the gloves or what, but yeah, it was quite a nasty cut on the back of his head. And then he also had the cut from the clash of heads as well on the eye. Josh Kelly, man, I was saying after the 4th round, I was thinking to myself that he's looking good, but he's going to do well to come out of this, because it just seemed a bit too much. Like the pressure, the constant pressure that Avanesyan was applying to him, the you know, the cuts and everything else. I mean, I thought that was just a bit too much for Josh Kelly at that time. But listen, man, I mean, it's a learning experience for him, man. He's going to use this. He's got a good trainer at Adam Booth there, and hopefully it will make him become a better fighter, man. But David Avanesyan goes on. And listen, man, this is a tough division to crack as well. The welterweight division, it's a very tough division, man. And yeah, I just think it was a bit too much too soon for Josh Kelly. So everybody that's in the chat, let me know what you guys think. Drop your comments, man. We'll have a quick chat about it before we get on to the other boxing later on tonight. There's quite a big schedule on. We've got Adrian Broner returning. We've got Dominic Brazil against Otto Wallin. We've also got Miguel Burchelt taking on Oscar Valdez. So it's been a great night for boxing, man. Even this card here, very good card, man. The co-main event was pretty good. Florian Marco against Ryan Charlton, that was good. Robbie Davis Jr. Losing to Valenzuela as well. So yeah, man, boxing's back, man. Boxing is back. But let me know your thoughts on the main event and any other particular fight from this evening, man. That's just my particular thoughts on this show. David Avanesyan proven to be just a bit too much, and I did have a bad feeling it would go that way. I do have to say, I did predict this. Those of you that watched the podcast on the Thursday would have seen that I picked Avanesyan late, so this was stopped in the mid rounds. I thought it might go a bit later, like maybe 8 or 9, but yeah, he managed to get it done earlier. Do you think that the cuts might have affected Josh Kelly a bit? Do you think that might have you know, thrown him off his game a little bit? It could have done. I mean, I'm not saying that it would have changed the result, but do you think that with those particular cuts, it might have bothered him? It took him somewhere that he hasn't been as a pro before, and you know, maybe that was part of the reason why he might have collapsed a bit too soon. Maybe mentally that he was worried about those cuts, knowing that he was going to be in a long, tough fight against somebody as tough as David Avanesyan. So listen, man, Conor Ben's there. He's at the studios watching the fight as well. He's been offering his opinion on it. I'm going to watch that when I get back. But yeah, what do you guys think about that now? Because we were kind of building that up, weren't we? Josh Kelly against Conor Ben. And listen, I think we could still have that fight, in my honest opinion, man, because Conor Benn's not on David Avanesyan's level yet either. So maybe they still might try and make that Josh Kelly and Conor Benn fight. Because make no mistake, earlier on, Josh Kelly did look very good against Avanesyan. He was outboxing his man, but again, that was probably part of the game plan from David Avanesyan. So let me know what you guys think about it, man. What did you think of the main event? What do you think happens next for Josh Kelly here? It was a bit of a bad defeat. I mean, he got knocked down twice, in the 6th round, and then Adam Booth throwing the towel in. Yeah, it was quite a bad defeat, man. But where does Josh Kelly go from here? Let me know, guys. It was a bad defeat for him tonight. But the undercard as well. Let me talk about that as well while we're here. Florian Marco against Ryland Charlton. That was a good fight, man. Very good scrap. I thought Florian Marco looked really good. I thought that he was outboxing his man. He was dominating it pretty much until he got dropped. But he was showboating. He was like moving around the ring very well. Had a great punch repertoire, and he was throwing Ryland Charlton off. He just had a bit too much in his arsenal for Charlton. And going into that fight, I know a lot of people that were picking Charlton to win it. I mean, there was a few people that thought that he would have too much for Marku, but Marku looked very good. He looked very good earlier on, and until he got dropped, that is, he was dominating it until he got dropped. But then he managed to win the corner through the towel in on that fight as well. And I think that was deserved as well. I think that he was dominating that fight, and it was the right decision. Charlton was just taking a bit too much heavy lever, and that was the right decision from the corner. But let's have a look at some of the comments here. Big up my guy, Jack Wright. Happy birthday to you, my man. He's put Kelly needs to move up. He did look big for the weight, didn't he, Kelly? He did look very big. Super welterweight is a tough division as well, man. I mean, at these particular weights, man, welterweight, super welterweight, it's tough. Look at all the guys around those weights. Welterweight, for example, you've got the likes of Crawford, Spence at the very top. But even underneath, you've got Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. And then underneath that, you've got the prospects. You've got Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. So it's a tough division to break through. David Avanesyan probably just in the lower half of the top 10. He might not even crack the top 10 in some people's eyes, but that's how good the welterweight division is. So it's a tough division for Kelly to make a name for himself in. If he moves up to like middleweight, super welterweight, that's going to be a tough division to make it in as well. There's some very good guys up there. You've got Jamel Charlo, you've got Julian Williams, you've got Erickson Lubin, you've got loads of guys up there as well. So it's a tough division. But Kelly, for me, man, what he should do is obviously just go back and reflect on what's happened. I thought this was a bit too early for him. It proved to be that. He's still got a great career ahead of him if he can manage it right, for sure. I think eventually, if he don't move up now, he will move up eventually because he does look like a big welterweight. Big up my guy Flace1 in the chat here. We were speaking during the fight on WhatsApp, and he's joined the chat as well. So big up, bro. He's put Kelly looked sharp and slick, but he fell apart as soon as it got put on him. Yeah, he did. I don't know if the cuts had an influence on that as well. Maybe that might have bothered him a little bit. But yeah, as soon as David Avanesyan started to close the pressure and he started to close the distance, and apply the pressure, it really got to Kelly. It got to him quickly. It got to him quicker than I thought. Because like I said, I thought that this was going to go late, but, it went to the 6th round. But the cuts, I think, might have had a say in it, but I think the writing was on the wall. After Avanesyan was taking those punches and still coming, not giving Kelly a minute's rest, I think the writing was on the wall there, and we saw it in the 6th round. Big up Jay-Z in the chat here. He's put, Josh Kelly couldn't cope with the pressure, and unfortunately, as good as he is in that style, he doesn't have the punch power to pull it off at European or world level like a Roy Jones. Yeah. He looked very sharp, but against Avanesyan, he wasn't able to make a dent in him earlier on, and the pressure told, man. Jay-Z said the cuts had nothing to do with it. Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the way how the fight was going, I'm not going to say that the cut had something to do with it. It was just a bad style fight, and I thought that Avanesyan was going to win anyway, to be honest. So he's put Ben versus Kelly is a much closer fight. Yeah, I agree. Ben versus Kelly is a much closer fight. And look, you can still make that fight. You could still make that fight between Josh Kelly and Conor Benn. I think that could be something down the future, and I think they might look at it. I don't think just because Josh Kelly lost tonight to David Avanesyan that fight won't happen now, because, like I said, Conor Benn is not on David Avanesyan's level either. So I think that they can make that fight. Big up Terry Smoot Jr. in the chat here. He's put Josh Kelly is a bum. He's also put he should have lost to Ray Robinson. Yeah, I had Ray Robinson winning that fight as well, to be honest, Terry. I thought that he did beat Josh Kelly as well. Bit harsh to call him a bum, but I did think he lost to Ray Robinson anyway. Terry Smoot has also put here, he or Conor Benn couldn't even handle a Jaron Ennis or Virgil Ortiz or Rashidi Ellis. I mean, the welterweight division is talented, my man. Look at those names you just put there. Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz. Both of those guys are making step-ups in the next 2 months. And, you know, Josh Kelly, he's just not at that level yet, man. I mean, he's got, you know, he's got the potential. He's got ability to maybe go there. But right now, he's not ready. And we saw that against David Avanesyan, man, because while Avanesyan is good, he's not at the top right now. Do you know what I mean? So that was European level. And I think Josh Kelly for now is going to have to stick at the British Commonwealth level, you know, build himself back up. And then maybe we'll go from there as to see what happens. But big up you, Terry Smoot, for dropping a comment here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, bro, subscribe to the channel. And, you know, we can get more conversations going. So thank you for your comment there. Interesting, man. Interesting comments from you guys. Josh Kelly not appearing to be on the level yet to, you know, to progress to the next stage. But it's he's 26 years old, man. 26 years old. He's got a good corner there with Adam Booth. And, you know, let's see what happens in the future. But listen, guys, I'm going to be live again later on tonight. There's loads of fights to look forward to. So I'm going to cut this one short. But thank you all for tuning into the chat. And if you are staying up tonight, make sure you catch me on live again, where I'll be talking about, you know, Adrian Broner's return, Otto Wallen against Dominic Brazil, Miguel Burchell and Oscar Valdez. So great night of boxing for everybody. And I thank you all for joining the chat here. And I'll catch you guys very soon. Peace out.